every day this beard grows longer means that we haven't achieved our goal. I'm not shaving until we achieve our goal. I need pity from people. Um, so, which is kind of counteractive because people may not want to work with us because I look like I'm disheveled. But everybody has it upside down. Everyone's got this psychology all upside down, and everyone's got it wrong. The whole world sort of does this wrong, and they don't really capture a market. I don't want people to sort of like us or sort of like the company. I want us to be the overwhelming shining beacon of light for the whole community, where everyone goes, these are the guys, they are just, why would you even dream about choosing anybody else? They solve our repair issues no matter what. There's a shortage of skilled staff, somehow these guys figured it out. We call someone at 1 a.m. in the morning, these guys somehow figure it out. The impossible situation that no one else is able to solve, these guys figure it out. Hey guys, that's the little kitty cat. Okay, before you lose distraction because you don't recognize my face anymore. Yes, I have I'm gonna look like I'm lost and in a cave somewhere until we figure out all our problems in the company fixed. Okay, so that's a nicer view than me. So what do we in terms of SEO, what are we going to do? And the whole marketing and everything else, it all has to come together well. So there's a lot going on and it's kind of overwhelming. So I'll try to convey the message in a way that we can all work together between the different teams, the SEM team, the SEO team, the web developers, the marketing team, the ideas person, myself, who's sort of central to all of this and thinking of the ideas and the concept and what we want to present to the world. So, okay, so this is my gems of gold that, if applied, will change the world, And in our world, we want to become, the most, sought after, renowned repairs company, become a household name. So right now, what's at the forefront of my mind right now is towards the SEO kind of stuff. So what does that mean? So essentially the same thing, but I guess for the purposes of describing it in words, let's try to break it all down. What do customers want? When customers are they have a problem, and the problem is a need or a want. And everybody generally is distracted with things and life and busy and all that kind of stuff. So really, when they're coming to our website or anything, they're massively distracted by, everyone is, right? Everyone's busy, extremely busy. So the only reason they're coming to us or our website or whatever it may be is to solve a need or a want. And it's a strong need or want inside of them. Otherwise, they've got a million other things to do. They've got to look after this, have a job, look after the kids, look after themselves, their hobbies, whatever. So when they jump on our website or they do anything, our job is they have to look at that and go, yes, these guys will solve my problem. That specific problem that we have. So the first and foremost thing that we need to do as the people creating the websites, doing the content, or any kind of marketing, is to really sit inside the mind of the client going, okay, if I was a client, what is my problem, first of all? So for example, and we should be asking the client as well. So again, I'm saying all these things but I find that everybody around me doesn't apply what we're trying to do and achieve as a company. So I'm saying these things, and when I go and sit with my team tomorrow, or when they watch this, they're not going to do all the things I've said in this video, and I really need them to. So I'm saying some very specific things that will make a massive difference. So first of all, we need to either sit there and think, what does a client really want, or we need to talk to the clients. So the marketing team needs to ask the operations team, hey, can you give me 5 clients that we've done this specific job for? Like, say we're doing roof restoration, and we ring up all the, say, 5 or 10 customers, and we ask them a set of questions. And we go, hey, why did you go ahead with a roof restoration? What was your need? I didn't ask them why they were handing over to us, but I'm asking, what was their need? Because you doing the content are not solving their problem, because you don't even know what their need was or they want. So you might say to me, because they have a leaking roof and the obvious things, but it's not. There's a lot of needs people want. So some people are like, well, I wanted to look nice like my neighbor's house. I had a wedding coming up. I wanted my house to look nice. I had an ongoing leak. So I didn't want to do a temporary fix. I wanted a permanent fix. I wanted to sell my house. So when you're marketing, or when you're doing these websites and content, your main thing is, your website should be saying, focused on these needs. Are you selling your house? Do you want to increase the value of your house? That's what your marketing should say, not how good of a company we are, or how good we do renovations, or what color paint we use, or any of that kind of stuff. We have to solve their need. So as their eyes jump on the website, they have to as quickly as possible, sorry, stop recording. So as quickly as possible, solve their need. So they look at it and they're like, okay, that's what I needed. That's my solution. I've got a problem. This is a solution. Bang. Everything around the website should be structured around the solution. And then from there, we can work on other things. How they can contact us, ease of access of website, how pleasant it looks. And then we have the other 3 major concepts, which is the next thing clients are sort of inherently looking for. What's the benefit to me? Remember, think about this. Again, you're going to get it wrong, if you don't really say, I know this because no matter what I do, or agency I speak to, or I speak to everyone, and the companies that I work with, and everyone's working with us, everyone's getting it wrong 100% of the time. So I can guarantee you, no one's really applying all these things that we must apply. So, I'm not saying that I have all the knowledges, that's the perfect knowledge. I'm saying these things because I know these things are proven to work. So at least, and even if they are wrong, what I'm saying, at least I want to know that we're giving it a go, so that the world can tell us where I'm wrong and we need to change the way we approach things. Yeah, so let's keep going. So what's the next thing people look for? What's the benefit to me? What's the benefit? What is the benefit? Again, you're going to get this wrong. You're going to think the benefit is, I don't know, if it's a roof restoration, the benefit is, you have a nice shiny roof. No. The benefit is, how do you feel about your roof? Do you feel comfortable? Do you have a dry house? What is the benefits to you? Do you feel more secured? Do you feel all those things, right? So you have to think about, okay, what is the benefit? Again, marketing team, full circle. You don't sit in your office and, with all these great ideas. You need to talk to the client, ring our clients, ask them, the other teams, and go, hey, can you give me the numbers of 5 clients that we've recently had, or old clients, and I want to talk to them. What benefits did you receive from us? Peace of mind. Did you feel like this company could be trusted? Did you think that the quality of work was good? Did you feel like, did you feel well taken care of? What benefits can we provide to them? Then we go into the next area. So that's what our content should be about. Then we go into Um, what's after benefits? Benefits, features. Features are like if we're doing roof restoration as an example in this video, but every example is the same. What features do we have in place? Our features may be that we get it done very quickly. If you need to get it done, we get it done within 2 weeks. We don't leave a mess at your house. We have, a special quality paint. Our tradesmen are experienced with 30 years. We use a special kind of color coding so it lasts, 12, 15 years, whatever it may be. So these are the features that specifically relate to roof restoration. And remember, we can apply these concepts to any concept, right? There's our other cat. Maybe one day we'll have... Again, okay, so what are features? What are features of roof restoration? What are features of roof restoration? Features may be that one of the features is we provide a certain kind of spray at the end that prevents algae from growing on the roof, so you don't have this moss and algae and all this stuff growing and your paint doesn't deteriorate. That's a feature, right? So we have to think about our features. What features do we have? And that should be added to it. But these are all in order of importance. The most important thing is the solution overall. Then we add little things about what are the benefits to the customer. Then we add little things about features. And the last thing and the least most important thing is technical. Technical means, we're using a high pressure gun that has this much pressure so that because it's so high pressured, we give it a good clean. We use this kind of chemical. This is the type of paint we use. The paint we use is RSD 76 from Dulux, which has 11 years warranty. These are technical things. So everybody has it backwards, have it wrong. So again, I'm not saying that I'm right. What I'm saying is this is what we think is right, and I want everyone to at least apply it, so that when we have our marketing meeting tomorrow and when we get during the week and we're seeing the feedback and the quality of work that's coming, it's based on what we're saying here. And if the world tells us we're wrong, then we have to reevaluate what we're doing. So anyway, these videos, if someone applies this, they're going to be massively successful, whatever success means to you. Whether you use this in your friendships, your relationships, your social media, your businesses, whatever you want to use it for. These are the concepts that I feel as though are tried and proven. And obviously in time to come, we're going to have better ways of thinking about it, different ways of thinking about it. And there's a bit more to this as well that I want to talk about as well is, yeah. Okay. So on a side note, how do we get free marketing, free publicity, free anything? We get involved in the daily news. So for example, there's been a huge amount of bankruptcies, insolvencies, companies closing down all of a sudden that are in the construction industry. So we want to talk about that in our videos, in our blogs, in our things, in our representation, and say, in our ads, we want to say, okay, worried about hiring a contractor and then the company closing and you losing your deposit, then this is how to prevent yourself from not happening. And then we will show the customer, this is how we make sure, because we have certain procedures, insurances and systems in place in the company, that will never leave a customer stranded when it comes to that. This is how we do it as well. It gives a bit of proof that we're going to come through for them no matter what. So that's a side note. Sorry to distract you guys from there, but still relevant, to our advertising and the whole circle. So again, what I'm finding, sorry to divert the attention here, but what I'm finding is everyone's in their own department. So our people in Google Ads are sort of doing all of these things and they're making all the same mistakes as our other departments. Everyone's sort of just focused on their department. But we really need to start to see it as a full organization, apply these concepts as a team. We need everybody sitting in one meeting, regularly, at least once, twice, 3 times a week, saying, okay, what are you guys thinking? What's happening here? How do we integrate the entire organization together, all the way from the people on the phone with the clients to the people, that are dealing with new clients, current clients, project managers, SEM team, Google Ads team, SEO team, marketing team, everybody working together, and myself, which is sort of guiding the overall vision of the company. So everybody should be involved, and we need to stop thinking departments, and we've got a Facebook team and this whole thing, right? So yeah, every day this beard grows longer means that we haven't achieved our goal. I'm not shaving until we achieve our goal. I need pity from people. So, which is kind of counteractive, because people may not want to work with us because I look like I'm disheveled. So what is, what's coming out of me, inside of me, about what we're thinking, what we're doing. Just to recap, website is, and anything is really just a solution. This is coming to give me a solution. Does the website follow the psychology of the human? If you're a human being, you look at it, I've got a problem. Websites are different. A luxury item website is different to an emergency page. Emergency page, people just want a solution straight away. Luxury items, people want to search, investigate, look at our Facebook. So we've got different items. We've got emergency items, people need help straight away. So then our landing page, our psychology should be based on that. If someone's looking and they're looking for a luxury item that they're thinking years about, like a roof replacement or a renovation, then the person's going to be looking at our page, investigating, looking at pictures of what we've done. They're going to be looking at our Facebook and social media and Google reviews. So then our psychology of the page changes to that consumer need. You've got to think, what is happening inside the brain of our clients? And we need to solve that solution. The whole thing should be based on a solution. The whole thing should be based on, and then we add in benefits, then we add in, I keep forgetting the third thing. We add in something, and then we add in technical. What's the third thing? And this is in order of importance, right? Technical is the least important, but everyone does that wrong. When you buy a car, that's how you're buying a car. When you buy an item, that's how you're buying it. You're not really thinking about the technical. You're starting at the top. You're starting at, does this provide the solution for me? Is this car going to be a solution for what I personally need? Is this car what benefits does this car have for me? I keep forgetting the third one. What's this? So it's technical, and then it's features. What features does this car have? Does it have the heat seat warmers? Because I live in a cold climate, or does it have good air conditioning, or whatever the features are? And the last thing is technical. The last thing you look at is, what's the engine speed? How much petrol does it take? All that kind of stuff. But everybody has it upside down. Everyone's got this psychology all upside down, and everyone's got it wrong. The whole world sort of does this wrong, and they don't really capture a market. I don't want people to sort of like us or sort of like the company. I want us to be the overwhelming, shining beacon of light for the whole community, where everyone goes, these are the guys, they are just, why would you even dream about choosing anybody else? They solve our repair issues no matter what. There's a shortage of skilled staff. Somehow these guys figured it out. We call someone at 1 a.m. in the morning, these guys somehow figure it out. The impossible situation that no one else is able to solve, these guys figure it out. So, we're aiming for something more than just, if we just copy our competition, then we're just aiming for mediocre. We're not aiming for anything special. Even our competition has copied someone else. Everyone's just copying each other. No one's actually talking to the client and finding out what they need and basing their product on the client. Everyone, I feel as though 99% of people, even though they say what I'm saying they're doing, they're not. What they're really doing is, these cheap ways, or these hacks, of marketing, which is copy your competition, look at what the world is, and nothing. You're not really talking to the client, finding out their needs, and changing the company to its needs. Remember, this whole company is integrated. If people start telling us, the marketing team, we need this, then the whole company's product will Sorry, every time a call comes in, it stops recording. So it's like a um, yeah, we're just copying each other, right? And then we never. What I was saying is, if the marketing team figures out, okay, this is what the consumers need and want, then we can actually change our product to meet it as well. The operations team, the call center, our people doing the physical work might actually change the product. So this whole company is integrated. It's not like, one section makes the major decisions. Everyone is sort of evolving at any given time to meet the consumer needs, and we need to move quickly and fast, and that raises a whole set of issues where because everyone comes to work and they start sort of having a bit of a group think, they don't change quickly when products need changing. They don't change the way they think about things, which leads to stagnation in the company. We stop serving the customers stop choosing us, and then you just lose the company, right? So that's another thing. That's where people stop changing, and because of these, things like there's all these drastic actions that a lot of companies are taking because people don't change with the company and instructions and what the customer's giving us. And if we give an instruction that this is how we're going to deal with customers, and people in the company refuse to do that, then we're going to lose all those customers. So then companies take all these drastic actions, where they have no choice but to remove all the current staff, get new staff, so that the new staff are more willing to use this. People like Apple and Amazon, what they do is they create these secret departments where the new product gets used, tested. Once it starts working, and they just pretty much have to start a secret department because the current staff are so stuck in their ways, they refuse to open their mind to an idea that customers don't want that anymore. It worked for a while, for many years, but now they want this. That's a side issue. So, I'm talking to everyone like they're the executive owner, decision maker of the business, because that's how you have to be. Otherwise, you almost become not very valuable to the customer or the business or anybody, or even your own progression in fitting in the world. You have to understand the whole process, everything. You have to be, no matter what role you're doing, you have to understand how the whole thing works. The whole business works and what we're thinking, and otherwise you're not very useful. So let's take any example, the millions of example. If you're if you're doing a very process oriented role, say you look after the gardens and the field of a soccer field, and you don't understand that this is what the whole company as a whole of running that organization works, and if you don't fully understand that, then if it's raining or if it's 2 days before the match and you don't know what to do, all of a sudden it starts raining and you're like, and you don't know what to do, you sort of look at your procedure sheet and you're like, oh, maybe we do this, and you talk to your manager, and the manager is supposed to know how the company's running so they can make better holistic decisions. But if you understood that if it's raining in 2 days, and today is your day to put let's say 2 days before every match, you usually put you probably cut the lawn or something, what I mean? That's your procedure. But it starts raining. But if you understand the full organization, then you may say, well, it's raining, so the procedure has to change. So either refer to your manager, or you have to understand that we're not going to put fertilizer because it's raining, So that's the importance of each individual knowing the entire company and where its vision, that perfect vision that we have of the ideal outcome. And then we're always sort of basing our decisions based on that perfect vision. So my emphasis again is, no matter what, these things that I say, we must apply, and I sound like I'm desperate, or and I am. I need you guys to apply this, or we're not going to be able to survive as a company, or you will not be able to work here, and there should be no reason for that, because we've got really, really great team coherence, and we've got people, we've been through a lot together, so there's no reason that, you know, that we shouldn't keep working together, you know? And it sounds like people don't listen to me. The problem is people don't listen to anybody. Throughout the whole world right now, every organization that you speak to, every manager that you speak to, these hundreds of businesses all throughout the world, everybody that is running a company is saying, my teams don't listen to me, right? Don't apply what I'm saying. So this is a worldwide issue, right? And we're trying to solve it within this place, you know? So these are hard things to do. We've got to try to work together and make this work. So any last words that I have based on our current marketing situation? I guess I do have quite a lot I do want to say about it, but that's a good summary. You know, we need to work together between the organizations. We need each department giving each other feedback. We need the whole groups working together. We need us to apply what I'm saying in the meetings. We're going to have some really good concepts and ideas. We need to apply that, because unfortunately, you know what it comes down to, because say I'm the only one applying what we've agreed on, then I end up having to do everything, like every single department, every single ad copy, every single procedure sheet, every single thought, every single email, every single press release, every single video, because everyone's sort of doing it, but they're not doing it to the extent that we need. So I end up having to do every single little thing, right? So impossible to do because we're such a leveraged company. You know, we've got all these people from different areas working within this company. So, my appeal is that we all start working well together as a team, as a group, and I'm not ashamed to, or I don't feel like, to say any of these things, because I think this is a worldwide issue. And if we're able to solve this issue of working together as teams and everyone sort of carrying the teams and each other and, solving and working well together and using these psychology, we could end up doing mega well. So, and, for me to be able to do these things, it's too much legwork for me to do all by myself. It's impossible, like literally impossible, I need multiple versions of me to do this. So I need you guys, and so I'm emphasizing, I need you guys to do these things, right? I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to talk about in terms of our current week coming up and the marketing processes? Just everything. Like, under pressure, your mind's going to think of some really cool ideas. The ideas have to be based on what we're trying to achieve. They just can't be random ideas. Then we need to apply them as quickly and fast as possible. And then we need to see what's working, what's not working, and just keep reshifting and changing all the time until it works. So in times where you feel stressed and you can't cope and you're about to break and you feel like dropping all this and quitting, that's the times where, you're pressured to bring out really good results. So stick it out, grind it out. Another thing I've learned about being creative is boredom. Boredom is one of the best things I've ever used in my life, which is if I really want to really be creative and think of cool things to do or have fun with, or marketing stuff or whatever, I purposely bore myself. I don't have any phones around me. I don't do any music. Completely bored out of my mind, and I'm thinking about, okay, this is the outcome that I want. This is the outcome that I want. This is the outcome. I'm just completely bored. I almost feel like falling asleep. That's how bored I am. And then through that boredom, suddenly I start thinking of these ideas. Sometimes I bore myself before I go to bed, or sometimes it'll be sitting at the desk at work or whatever it may be. Sometimes I just stare at a wall. I know that's one of my favorite things to do. And in that boredom, all these creative things start coming out of me. Because if you're distracted and you're being entertained and you're still trying to be creative, they're kind of conflicting. You're already entertained, your brain is entertained, your body's entertained. It has no need to create anything. So boredom is one of the best ways to create. That's why, in the past they have these think tanks, people go and live somewhere for 3 weeks together, and they don't do anything except try to achieve this one certain goal. That focused boredom, all this creativity comes out of you. If you want to put like a religious or social or sometimes context to it, I mean this, without excluding anybody. Why would God have created the world or the universe? It wanted something interesting to do. Why, if you think about it from a simulation perspective, where you think, okay, this whole thing that we live in is some kind of simulation, and that's a lot of stuff around going there. Same thing. The simulation was bored and thought, hey, let's just do something interesting to do. Some people think that we're created by some alien species came here and planted us. Well, they said, well, we're kind of bored. We wanted something entertaining to do, so we put humans onto this planet, and let's see how much drama they can create. Right? End of the day, boredom seems to create the circumstances for all these creative, fun things to do. It's like what you say to kids, keep yourself out of trouble, or you say to other people, stay busy so you keep yourself out of trouble. I'm staying busy to keep myself out of trouble. That's a saying that we have in Australia a lot. Same thing. Keep yourself busy so you stay out of trouble. You don't get too creative. You don't think, but because we want to be creative, we want to, think of cool ideas and these cool concepts and see if we can apply them, then boredom is one of the best things to do. Like in my life, I keep my life very simple. Like I have work, I have, relationship, and, I keep it very, very basic because I give myself room for not to be busy all the time so that I can have these creative thoughts. If I have this and I do 1,000 things, I'll never give myself room to be a little bit bored, so then I will never have any cool ideas. So, yeah. So, what else, is sort of on my mind when it comes to marketing, and what we want to get out there. End of the day, we're not trying to be manipulative. We're trying to be honest as possible. We're trying, people love honesty these days. Everything up to now is all been lies. The last 5,000 years, the kings and queens and the people running the place have held all the information and hidden it from the masses. Now the people have the information, and media is trying to sort of control people's mindsets, and governments in the last 100 years were saying that, limited information for the masses so that they will be more obliged to listen to us. And then, now people just love honesty, just a refreshing breath of this is everything that's going well, but this is where we're also having a lot of trouble. So this honesty, this candid honesty, is just a breath of fresh air for everyone. So in our marketing, we want to be honest, we want to be out there, we want to be open, we want to be creating a good product. We're not trying to sell something that's not great. We want to have just an immaculate product that, as the world changes, we keep improving the product as well. And these are all very hard problems to solve. So we're talking about marketing, but we've also got the problems to solve within the product itself. We've got to make sure that we end up providing a service that is, as best to perfect as possible, and as best to customers' expectation as possible. So, yeah. What else can I think of in, our marketing? It just all has to come together. We have to have a bit of courage to say the things we want to say, without thinking, well, no other company does that, why should we do that? So we've got to be a bit courageous. We've got to try some cool things. We've got to use the current issues of the world that people are very concerned about, and we can comment on them, and then relate them to how our product can solve the issues of your, like people are worried about interest rates right now. And then sometimes when they have large emergencies, we have an interest-free payment plan. So we can talk about interest rates as a whole. People are worried about it. And then we can say, this is how we as a company will solve your issues with interest rate. Because when people do a large emergency job, they're like, oh, I'm going to have to pay interest on this job because I'm borrowing the money. But in our situation, we provide interest-free, which is quite a large saving for the customer. And, it's quite hard for a company to afford that. And, so it's quite a sacrifice from us to be able to build, a company that is able to do that, Yeah, so um, yeah, so as we join the marketing, as we do the marketing tomorrow as a team, yeah, we really need to come together. Um, and as we're working as a team, the biggest issues that we have is one person will delegate the job to someone and think it's going to work, but we need to then, once the job is done that we've delegated, saying, hey, can we put this kind of ad on? It needs to be checked that the ad is working, that what's been delegated. So each person has to check whatever we've tried, is it working? That's another big issue. I'm not sure if I've said it in a proper way. It's like saying, okay, we've implemented a change in our customer application. So the customer can now pay online. And then we implement it and we don't test it. We obviously have to test it ourselves. We have to talk to the customer. Did that work for you? The first 10, 15 customers. So we're not doing that. No matter how many times I repeat it, the whole organization doesn't do it. And we lead to all these problems where we've applied all these things. We think it's working, but none of it's working. So it's the same thing when we're sitting in these marketing meetings. We have to see, okay, now we're applying it. We have to now, once the person has done it, we have to now go and check, have they applied it properly? Do we do the testing? Has it been done exactly to what we agreed on? And this applies for the work that we do for clients. This applies for any of the technology we create. This applies for everything, really, all communication that we have. Um, yeah. Um, is there, um, what else is there? What else was there? Yeah. We need to make a lot of these things work. We're not gonna, you know, all companies out there, they don't have unlimited time to make things work. They've got a limited time to be able to pay people to come to work and try these technologies out until you can say, well, this company is a failure, this product is a failure, or it's not. So this is happening, all over the world all the time. It's just we don't pay attention to it. Companies have a limited time frame to try their product, make sure it's cash flow positive. It makes revenue to pay for things. Otherwise, the company will then no longer be able to function and have to close. So we've got limited time to try all these things out. Yeah, I guess that's all I can think about. I'm sure there's a thousand other things I'll think about, but everything I'm saying is just a repeat of what we've spoken about many times.